Hello everyone, I hope you're well and welcome back to my channel. Today's video shall be the making of a palazzo pant, and firstly we're going to be drafting out the pattern, and after that we're going to be cutting on the fabric. If you're new to this channel, you're welcome. This is Donlarrie, and on this channel I upload sewing tutorials and pattern drafting every week. Kindly subscribe and don't forget to put on the notification bell so you get notified anytime I post a new video. So to get started, you're going to be needing your basic trouser measurement, which is your waist measurement, the hip, the crotch, the knee, the ankle, and your desired trouser length. So I have a tutorial on how to take your trouser measurement accurately on the channel. I'll put the link down in the description box so that you can watch that. Also, I have a tutorial on the channel on how to draft a basic trouser pattern, so you can also watch that. So once you've taken your trouser measurement accurately, you're going to be rolling out all these horizontal lines. So as you can see, I have my waistline, the hip line, the crotch line, the knee line, and the ankle line. And also I've created the upper part of the trouser, but I will quickly go through this so that you have a better understanding of how to do this. So the first thing is to roll out a top line, which would be your waistline, your low waistline, or wherever you are placing your trouser. And from that line, which is our waistline, you will input your trouser length. So in my own case, my trouser length is 39 inches, and this 39 inches here will give you your ankle line. So as you can see, I've drawn out the ankle line. So once you've done that, the next thing is to input our inseam measurement. So you need to watch my tutorial on how to take your trouser measurement accurately, then you understand how to take your inseam measurement. So my inseam measurement is 28 inches, and you will now measure from the ankle line 28 inches up. Can you see that? And automatically this will give you your crotch line, so which I already have here. So once you've drawn out your crotch line, so from your crotch line now to your ankle line, you divide it by 2. So whatever you get, you go up between 1 to 2 inches depending on how tall you are. So, and that will give you your knee line. So the next line that we have here is the hip line, and the hip line, you can measure your hip line from wherever you are placing your trouser, or the easiest way to go about it is to find the distance between your waistline and your crotch line, which is from here to here. So you place your tape measure like this, and then you divide whatever you have here by 3. So if I divide this by 3 now, we have 1, 2, 3. So this line, the one next to the crotch line, so that will give you your hip line, and that is what we have here. So having done that, the next thing now is to divide your hip measurement by 4. So before you divide your hip measurement by 4, for your basic trouser, you will add 1 inch ease allowance to it. So that is if you want the ease allowance. If you don't want it, just divide your hip by 4. But to make it comfortable, add your ease allowance of 1 inch to it. So in my own case, my hip measurement is 39 inches plus 1 inch ease allowance. That gave me 40 inches. So dividing 40 inches by 4, I have 10 inches. To input your hip measurement, first of all, you draw out a vertical line, which will be the guide. And then from that vertical line, you input whatever you get, which is 10 inches in my own case, like this. And then you will also rule out the second vertical line. So once you've done this, the next thing is to now input your waist measurement. So your waist measurement divided by 4, you can also add ease allowance, but I did not add any ease allowance to this. So you can add ease allowance to your own. So my waist measurement of 32 divided by 4, that gave me 8 inches plus 1 inch seam allowance. I have 9 inches. So that is what I input here. So you will input whatever you get so that you can create your hip curve. So, and that is what I've done here. And then once you've done that, then you can now create the crotch extension. So to create the crotch extension, we all know that you will divide your whatever you have for your hip measurement from here to here, you divide it by 4, and I have 2.5, and that is what I input here. So can you see that from here to here, you will input the crotch extension, and that is what I've done there. So once you've created a crotch extension, the next thing is to draw out this grain line, and this grain line will be the guide for you. So to get your grain line from your crotch extension here to this other line which we have here, you divide it by 2. So I have 12.5 inches here, so dividing it by 2, I will have 6.25. So, and I will mark it like this. So, and here now you will draw a line to the waistline, and also you will extend this line to the ankle line. So that will give you your grain line, and that is where you will input your dart. So the length that I use for the dart is 4.5 inches, and then I input 1 inch dart intake. So once you've created all this, then we're quickly going to input our basic measurement before we create our palazzo pant. So for the my new measurement is 16 inches. So you divide your new measurement by 2. So I have 8 inches. So that 8 inches now, you will mark 4 inches to this side, 4 inches to this side. And also at the ankle line, you divide your ankle measurement by 2. So my ankle measurement is 14 inches. That is for the basic trouser, and then I will divide it by 2. That will give me 7 inches. So you will input 7 inches here, so that will be 3.5 inches at both sides. So that is for the basic trouser, and then I will connect this to this and to this. Then I will connect this to this and also to this. So now that we've created our basic front trouser pattern, so we're going to be modifying this pattern to create our palazzo pants trouser. So the first thing you will need to do is to come down from your crotch line. So you come down by 1/2 inch. So this is the 1/2 inch. Then I'm going to extend the line. So I'll just extend it like this. So from this 1/2 inch, so from here now you will input 3/4 inch, and then I will now connect this. So you connect that to this point. So once you've done that, then you come to your ankle line. So depending on how wide you want your trouser to be, so at the ankle line you can add between 3 to 4 inches to it. So from this line you're going to be adding the extension to it depending on the width that you want. So I will be adding 3.5 inches here. So 3.5 inches here and 3.5 inches here. So once you mark it, you're going to be drawing a straight line from here to here, and also from here straight to the hip line. So I will do that now. So as you can see, I've joined this point to the hip line straight down, and also the crotch extension down to the ankle line. So once you've done this, then we're going to be creating a kind of curve shape to this side. So you go up by 3/4 inch from your ankle line. So you mark 3/4 inch at both sides. And once you've marked it, then you're going to connect that to the grain line, which is the center line. So you connect it, you create a kind of curved line. And also to the other side, you do the same thing. So once you've done this, then you can go ahead and add your 1/2 inch seam allowance round this pattern, and then to the ankle line you can add up to 2 inches. So I'll go ahead and do that, and then I will cut it out and show you what next. So to draft the back pattern for our palazzo pant, you're going to be needing your basic back pattern just like I have here. So and once you have this, then we're going to be modifying this just like we did for the front. So the first thing we're going to do, since you have this here, and also for the crotch extension, we've done that already in the basic trouser pattern tutorial, so you watch that. So all you will need to do is just to come to the ankle line. So whatever you use for the front, that is what you will use for the back. So I use 3.5 inches width, and then I will also mark it on the back pattern. So you mark that, and then you're going to be connecting this straight to the hip line, and then this other end you connect it straight to the crotch extension. So I will go ahead and do that now. So as you can see, I've connected this hip line to the ankle line and also the crotch extension to the ankle line, and I also went up by 3/4 inch from the ankle line just to create a nice curved shape to the hem line of our palazzo pant. So once you've done this, the next thing we want to do is to create a zip extension to our back trouser, because we're going to be adding our zip to the back. So you come to the back, and at this crotch curve area, then you're going to be adding the extension to it. The short zip is usually between 7 and 7.5 inches, and then you're going to be marking, so you need to mark like 8.5 inches from the top line. So you mark like 8.5 inches, and then you can add up to 1 inch for the zip allowance, or 3/4 inch. So I will add 1 inch, and then you're going to connect that 1 inch, and then you draw a line down to this line, and then towards this end you curve your hand, so just like that. So this is for our zip. So once we've done this, the next thing we want to do now is to add our seam allowance round this pattern, the seam allowance of 1/2 inch. So I will go ahead now and add seam allowance of 1/2 inch to this line, 1/2 inch to this line, then 2 inches to the hem line, and also I will add 1/2 inch to this line. So I will do that now, and I will show you what it looks like. So I've added the seam allowance, and as you can see that I did not add it to the zip extension, so you don't need to add it to it. Just add it to this curved part down to the hem line, at the hem line, then this part, and then the upper part. So I will cut this out. Then we're going to be cutting out the band for our palazzo pants. So now we have our front and the back palazzo pant. So the next thing we want to do now is to cut out the band. So to cut out the band for our pattern, so you will determine the width of the band that you want. So I will set the back aside. So you determine the width that you want for your trouser. So you can make it 1.5 inch or 2 inches depending on what you want, and we're going to be tracing it out. So the first thing is to fold in the darts. So you fold in the darts. So once you fold in the dart, then the width that you want, so you can mark it if it is 2 inches. So I'll be using 2 inches. So I'm just marking 2 inches now. And then I will draw a line. So this is the 2 inches. This is what we're going to be cutting now. So before we cut it out, we're going to be tracing it on another pattern paper, or you trace it on the fabric. But if you are tracing it directly on the fabric, note that you're going to be cutting this part on fold. So I will trace it out using this tracing wheel. So you can see that I'm not tracing the seam allowance, so I'm tracing directly on the waistline. So you trace it out like this. So once you've traced it on another pattern paper, you can cut this out. But before you cut it out, you will need to add your seam allowance of 1/2 inch to it, because we're going to be joining it with a band. So like this, then I will cut this out. So once you've cut it out, you're going to be adjusting your dart. So what I have left here is 3/4 inch. So I'm just going to adjust it back to 1 inch. So can you see that? and then I will set this aside and trace out the band. So once you've traced it out, you mark this end. You're going to be cutting it on fold. So for the front band, we're going to be cutting the front band. So you cut out one piece for the fabric, then one piece for the facing, and then we're going to be cutting it on fold. So I'll go ahead now and add the seam allowance to this part and to this part. So I'm not going to add any seam allowance since we're going to be cutting this on fold. So I will just add my half an inch seam allowance here. So I will do the same thing to the back. So this is the back pattern. I will fold in the dart, trace out the 2 inches, then I will do exactly the same thing. And for the back, we are going to be cutting out 2 pieces for the back, one for the left and one for the right. So I will do that and I will show you what next. So I've cut out the band, and just like I explained that we're going to be cutting the front on fold, and the back we're going to be cutting 2 pieces for the back. So 2 pieces for the fabric, 2 pieces for the facing. For the front, we're going to be cutting out 1 piece for the fabric and 1 piece for the facing. So this is the back palazzo pant. So this is the band. So once you sew the dart, this is what you will have. So can you see what we have here? So this is what you will have for the back, and also for the front. Once you sew the dart, this is what you will have. So because we're cutting this part on fold, so now that we have our pattern ready, so we can now move on to cutting and sewing on the fabric. So guys, I've cut it out of the fabric, as you can see it, and this is the band. So just like I explained that we're going to be cutting this on fold, so you will have 1 for the main fabric and 1 for the facing, and then for the back you will have 4 pieces for the back, 2 main fabric and 2 facing. So once you've cut it out, then we're going to start assembling our pattern. So let's take off the pin. So this is our front, and the first thing we're going to be doing for the front, you will place the right side on each other. So the right side will face each other, and then you will first of all join the 2 together at the crotch area. So you join it at the crotch area, and then you also transfer your dart to the fabric and sew it. So I will do that for the front. So also for the back, you place the right side facing each other, and then you will join from here. Remember our zipper extension, so you join from here, from this end down to this end, and then you also sew your dart for the back. So for the band, so this is the front band, this is the main fabric. So you place the facing and the fabric right side facing each other, and then we're going to sew the upper part of it like this. Then for the back band, this is one side, this is the other side. Then you also place the facing on it like this, and then you join it together at the upper part like this. So I will do that and I will show you what next. So I've joined the 2 front pieces together at the crotch area, just like I explained earlier, and then I've done the same for the back. So you will need to leave the zipper extension above, and then you start stitching from around here, so down to this point. And also for the band, I've turned the band just like I explained to you. So once you've done this, the next thing you want to do now is to attach your band to the front. So this is the front band. So I will go ahead now and place the right side facing each other, and then I will join the 2 together like this, and then I will do the same thing to the back. So this is the back. So you pick, this will go with this side and this will go with this end. So you place the right side facing each other then you join the two together. So I will go ahead and attach the band, and once I'm done with that, I will show you what next. So I've attached the band, as you can see it, and this is what we have. So you can go ahead and finish these edges with your overlocking machine. And then this is the back. So can you see the back? So this will make it very, very easy for you. So once you've done this, so we set the front aside. So we're going to be fixing our zip to the back trouser now. So you use your zip allowance to do that. So you can fold it in. So can you see it? So you fold it in and iron it. Do the same to the other side. Fold it in and iron it. So that will be the guide for you. And once you've done that, then you go ahead and attach your zip. So I will go ahead now and attach the zip. And once I'm done attaching the zip, I will show you what next. So as you can see, I fixed the zip, and this is what we have. So I will just fold it for you so that you can see what our back look like. So you can see that we still have the same normal back shape. So can you see that? And this is our zip. So can you see that? So we are almost done with our trouser. So once you've done this, the next thing is to join the front and the back together. So you place the two together, and then you're going to be joining it together at the side. So you sew it down from here down to the hem line, and then you do the same thing to the other side. So I will go ahead now and join the two together at the side, and I will show you what next. So I've joined the front and the back together at the side, as you can see it, and all we have left is the inseam area, which is around here. So all you need to do now is to go ahead and start stitching from the hem line. From here you stitch through to the crotch and down to the other hem line. And then we're going to be tidying up the hem line. So you use your seam allowance and the hem line to fold it up, and then you stitch it round. So I will go ahead and do that, and I will show you the final look. This is the final look, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you find it helpful. If yes, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, leave your comment, share and subscribe if you are yet to do so. Till I see you guys in my next video, have a wonderful day. Bye.